In just 2 weeks, Chicago became the center of a massive immigration crackdown. ICE confirmed they've arrested more than 400 people in one of their largest recent operations, sparking outrage, fear, and heated debate across the nation. But what really happened during this sweep, and what does it mean for the communities affected? The numbers alone are staggering. Over 400 arrests in only 14 days. That's nearly 30 people every single day, taken into custody by immigration and customs enforcement agents. According to officials, the operation targeted individuals with criminal records, prior deportation orders, and those considered threats to public safety. But immigrant rights groups are telling a different story, claiming many of those detained were ordinary workers and parents caught in the middle of a system they call broken. The operation stretched across Chicago's metro area, with raids reported in neighborhoods, workplaces, and even outside courthouses. ICE described it as a targeted enforcement action, but eyewitnesses paint a chilling picture. Families say agents showed up early in the morning, knocking on doors, surrounding apartment complexes, and in some cases waiting outside bus stops. Community members shared emotional accounts of what it felt like. One resident described the fear of seeing her neighbor taken away in handcuffs while his children cried on the sidewalk. Others spoke of living in constant anxiety, never knowing if their loved ones would come home after work. "It feels like we're being hunted," one woman said, holding back tears. ICE officials, however, defended the operation, saying it was necessary for public safety. They emphasized that many of those arrested had prior convictions, ranging from DUAs to more serious crimes. This operation was about enforcing the law and removing dangerous individuals from our communities, one spokesperson explained. But critics aren't convinced. Advocacy groups argue that the sweeps cast too wide a net, targeting vulnerable people and spreading fear far beyond those directly arrested. Churches, community centers, and legal aid groups reported a flood of calls from terrified families seeking protection and advice. Lawyers are now scrambling to represent those taken into custody, many of whom face deportation proceedings that could tear families apart. The political response has been just as divided. Supporters of stricter immigration enforcement praised the operation, calling it a necessary step to uphold the law. Meanwhile, opponents blasted it as inhumane and politically motivated, accusing ICE of staging large-scale raids to send a message rather than truly protect. Communities' Chicago leaders have also weighed in. Some local officials criticized ICE for failing to coordinate with city authorities, saying the raids undermined trust between law enforcement and immigrant communities. Others reiterated Chicago's status as a sanctuary city, promising resources and legal aid to those affected. The debate isn't new, but this operation has poured gasoline on the fire. It highlights the ongoing clash between federal enforcement priorities and local protections for immigrants. And with over 400 people now facing uncertain futures, the human cost is impossible to ignore. For many, the most haunting part of this story isn't the number of arrests, but the fear that lingers after. Parents are keeping children home from school, workers are skipping shifts, and neighborhoods are on edge, wondering if another sweep is coming. What do you think? Was this ICE operation a justified move to protect public safety, or a devastating raid that tore families apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the real stories shaping America's future.